Coach Stoops joins us now here on Kentucky Sports Radio. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Well, we're ready for a cold day tomorrow at the spring game. We're all excited about it. I don't care how cold it's going to be. We're all going.
Yeah, nice November game.
Getting ready for the season.
Yeah, feels like.
Oh no! Did we lose him, Shannon?
There and play a little football.
We lost you there for just a second, Coach, but we'll go ahead and go through it. Look, everybody's so excited about the football program and the football team and next season. What is if there is anything that you are the most excited about your team? What is it?
Well, I think obviously, having a quarterback, like Will returning with the experience that he has is a big deal. I mean, obviously, you got to have a great team. There's no one player that's going to make a team in college football. You got to have a great group of guys and a lot of people. But I think it's fair to say you better when you have a big time trigger guy, a big time quarterback, that helps a lot of people around you get better. And so I think that's certainly a big deal for us.
Since you added your new offensive coordinator, we've all become big 49ers fans, watching a lot of old 49ers tape. I'm excited. I'm sure we're going to see the full playbook tomorrow. You don't have to spoil that for us, but how's Coach Scangarello been so far, especially working with Levis, him being, I guess they call him the QB whisperer? How have things been going with him so far?
Yeah, very smooth, very, very good. Definitely, some new wrinkles, some different things. I mean, philosophically will be a lot the same as we've been, that we were last year. There's a ton to build on, but Rich has been a great addition. Really good for all of our quarterbacks, really good for, continuing to develop and evolve in this offense, in this scheme. And, it's been a very smooth transition. So I'm very excited about Rich, and all the coaches. I feel like we have a great group. There's a lot of continuity, and so a lot of good things happening. I'm excited about it.
Hey, Coach, Freddie Maggard here. How you doing, bro?
Good, Freddie. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. First of all, I saw a picture of you and Will at the Super Bowl. Where's the time gone, man? He's grown up.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. My first Super Bowl I've ever gone to, and he's getting big. He's a freshman in high school, and he's involved in that in playing football all year round somehow, playing at these 7-on-7 tournaments and traveling around the country. He's actually in Seattle playing this weekend, so I wasn't able to make that with the spring game, but he's really doing a great job, and we had a lot of fun at the Super Bowl. That's for sure. It was fun.
Hey, Coach, talk about the format of the spring game. Is it going to be – did you have a draft? Is it going to be ones versus ones versus two? How'd you all do that this year?
Yeah, good question. I want to put that out there. To be honest with you, we were looking at a lot of options. Bottom line is we came down to, and it's going to be probably the best for the fans, even though you can't keep score, we're just going out there and practicing. We're in a scrimmage. So you're going to see – the best football we could put on in the spring. When you split teams up in football and draft and totally split them up, it puts us in a bad situation because, number one, you might be making a star player play all the reps. You might be, getting extremely thin at certain positions. Maybe somebody gets dinged up or hurt, as you know, and you can't put a sub in because you don't have anybody. So it's just we're thin in the spring. So bottom line is we're gonna have a scrimmage, and I told the players this after a light practice we had this morning that I guess I'll determine who the winner is. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna have any point system or anything like that. Where we tried to do that before, where if the defense gets a stop, you get X amount of points and so on, but that just gets confusing for everybody. Everybody that comes to the spring game, you're gonna see good football. You're gonna see ones versus ones. You're gonna see twos versus twos, and you'll see 3s versus 3s. So the other thing that does for us, it gives us a great opportunity in front of fans and with as much pressure on the players as we can get to have a really good practice. Because when we split it up, it just gets watered down, and maybe it's a fun show for the fans sometimes, but as coaches, we really don't get anything out of it.
Now, Coach White spoke yesterday, and he wasn't happy with his defense. So as you as a coach and a defensive coach, are you kind of happy that the offense is ahead and looking so good, or are you kind of ticked off still that the defense wasn't as good? Where do you stand in that argument right now?
I'm just happy that Coach White's not happy, because that means he's getting on their butt. You know what I mean? He's pushing them and challenging them. You know, I know how we do it as coaches. Believe me, when I was a coordinator or position coach, I would absolutely, rip my defense up one side and down the other if we had a so-so day, because, the guys have pride. They're going to want to bounce back and play good the next opportunity. So if I know Coach White, he's just trying to get in the defense's head so they go out there and play well on Saturday.
You mentioned being thin this spring, but you do have a lot of experience. I mean, guys like DeAndre Square who have been through this many times, and you're coming up almost your 10th spring. Now that you do have a lot of experience and veteran guys, how is that able to help you to be just a little more precise and dialed in with what you are trying to work on in these 15 practices you get this time of year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're just continuing to look at elevating, where can we get better? How can we get better? You're exactly right. I mean, I talk to the players about that all the time. I mean, we've worked really hard for a long time, and, even prior to spring practices, the players have grinded in the weight room. They're bigger. They're stronger. We work really hard at our craft to improve, and they need to carry that to the field. So, again, there's a lot of little things that maybe people won't see it, in the naked eye and going fast and things like that. But for us, as we watch film and we slow it down and we dial in, we're looking for all the little things. If we continue to do all the little things right, big things are going to happen. And so we're constantly challenging these guys to just elevate their game, get better fundamentally. I know that's boring, but it's true. As you become a fundamental, really good football player, that carries over. And then that's when big things happen. And so we're constantly challenging them, to improve. And even a guy like Will, who's, going to be a high draft pick a year from now, and, he's a, very talented player, but there's so many things, little things, that Rich and the coaches are working on with him to fundamentally be better. And that's across the board. That's with a guy that's, extremely talented all the way down through all the guys on our roster so that's what we're looking for, is just that consistency and that fundamental play.
And more to being a little thin, obviously there was some tough news with Vito Tisdale going down. That was a promising young star, I think, in your secondary. How are things looking there as you're trying to replace a guy who is absolutely going to be one of your contributors on defense this upcoming season?
Yeah, that definitely hurts because, Vito's versatility, as you know, we were playing him at corner and he was looking good there, but certainly a great nickel, a great safety, an impact player on the field. He's just one of those guys that he's very, he's live, he's sudden, he's playing. You just see him. He shows up. You feel his presence on the field. So we're definitely disappointed for him in all the work that he put in, that he's not going to be there. But there's other guys stepping up. I mean, I think Carrington's a guy you look at that played an awful lot of football a year ago as a freshman. He's a guy that I see really elevating his game that we need him to. Andrew Phillips on the other side has been I'm very pleased with that. We needed him to be a very good player. He's really improved and working really hard. That we and we needed that at the other corner position. The safeties, those guys have, we got some good experience there. There's some new guys, but guys that have been around as well and played in backup roles. So we'll be fine. We're constantly, trying to recruit and evaluate it. Maybe it's a situation where we look to the portal, maybe to supplement us with a guy or two. But overall, the guys are working hard, and when it's all said and done, we'll be ready to go.
Hey, Coach, it's Freddie again. First of all, I want to pay you a compliment of how you've united and brought together the former players. Used to segmented. You were a Claiborne guy, Brooks guy, Mummy guy, whatever. But you've done just so good a job, and Courtney and Susan have brought all of us together. Especially losing Jerry Bell here last week, that's very tough on a bunch of us. I wanted to thank you for that. And my question is, after the show yesterday, I went over to the ticket office and I paid off my season tickets. I got 4 parking pass, RV pass. I mean, I got them all.
You're doing your part for the team.
I'm doing my part. How important is that? I know season ticket sales are high this year. How important is it to your team and your recruiting for that stadium just to be a home field, just have home field advantage and have a loud, packed stadium every Saturday?
It's a major point, and, you're right, and thanks for bringing that up and encouraging that and continuing to push that, because that environment, that's what you recruit to. That's what players want to play in that environment. And, some of those games we played a year ago, man, if we could get that in every home game, I mean, that makes a difference. That's a factor. And I tell you, there's a lot of people that have complimented me, and a lot of recruits, a lot of people that have come through that have been mentioning that more than they used to, about how, hey, I was at whatever game last year, and man, I want to compliment you. What an atmosphere. So that's a compliment to you and to our fan base and to the people that are there making a difference, because, that's major. And I've gotten quite a few compliments on that, much more than I used to, about how, man, what an electric atmosphere it was in Kroger Field, and how exciting it is to come to games. And that's major, because I understand what a commitment that is. It's not cheap. They're long football games. You can't predict the weather, and it's hard getting in and out of parking and all that stuff. So I understand the frustration sometimes and complaints. Hey, believe me, you just mentioned the Super Bowl. I went there. Believe me, that's not easy, getting in and out of there. I mean, that's a pain. But, it's worth it. The time I had with my son and that experience, and it's invaluable. And I hope people feel that way coming to Kroger Field and seeing, some of the historic games we've had and the fun, atmosphere in there, and getting everybody in there. And as I mentioned many, many times, and it's not a cliche, it's true. I mean, it takes all of us to build this program to where we want it to be. And that's a major part of it, because it's not easy. And I greatly appreciate the sacrifice that people make. I mean, just fighting traffic and parking and getting in and out of the games. I mean, it's not easy. But, we play in the SEC. And hey, by the way, this league's not going anywhere, right? People are just getting more difficult. We're adding some more tough teams, so it's not getting any easier. So we need everybody to continue to do their part.
Some might even say we're just getting started, bro. I think that might even be a line you said many years ago.
Hey, I could definitely use that again. It's a new decade, right? I'm down there. I feel like I'm hitting the reset button. I tell you, I'm as excited as I've ever been. And, I may say that about every other year, but it's true. I'm really fired up about where we're at and where we're going.
Well, if you keep saying it, you definitely called your shot years ago and have followed through with every door you're kicking down. We're excited to keep kicking those down.
We just got a couple minutes left. But Drew and I have some non-football questions we'd like to ask you before we go away.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Hey, I ain't involved in this.
Actually, I didn't know about this either. I've been put on the spot.
You and I are about the same age. We've got kids that are the same age. We both have great, fantastic hair. But your son Will and my son Josiah, both freshmen, both play football. Yeah. But yet on my side, the number one thing in Josiah's life is girls. What fatherly advice can you give me to get him back focused on football?
Wow, that's a difficult question. I really
threw you a curve.
I really don't. Yeah, that's a curve. I really don't have that problem. I always bust my son Will's chops. Actually, Chantel and myself bust on Will because he has no game. You know what I mean? This kid, I love him, but he's like he's so darn driven. I'm like, where do you get it from? All he does is work on school, which I really never did. He works on school 24/7, and then he loves working out and playing football. I mean, I have to talk to him about pulling back and scaling back some of his things because he puts a lot of pressure on himself, and I don't know where he gets that from, but probably his mother. But he has no game when it comes to the girls yet, so I don't know.
All right.
I won't put you on the spot like Ryan, but you did mention your excitement, and you are getting close to 10 years here. And just as kind of broad and general and not football talk, just how's Mark Stoops doing at Kentucky? Got the big – you're here long-term, got facilities coming. How is that energy and that excitement going into this big season coming up?
Yeah, really, really excited. Really couldn't be going any better. I mean, obviously we want to win more games. We want to recruit players, but I feel really good. I mean, I feel like there's great support. We got some projects going that we need to get finished off, and I greatly appreciate, everybody, working with me to get these things done. But the fan base has been, fantastic. I love our staff. I absolutely love coming to work every day. And, I love our team, and that's the big thing. And that people are probably like, really? But our coaches, the new coaches that come in here, they tell me, and they talk about it often. They're like, wow, like, this is really awesome. Like people feel it. Us coaches, we've been involved in a lot of different teams and different organizations. But when they come in and they're like, man, you've got really good people, really good players that are enjoyable to work with every day. You have no idea what an impact that makes because we spend too much time. And, I'm not crying the blues, but I just met with the color people that are doing our spring game tomorrow. And, it's like, it's interesting. I feel like I'm busier than I've ever been. Like this, the way things are right now with the portal, with name, image, and likeness, with recruiting, I do not even feel like we had an off season yet. Hopefully I'll feel that way. But it's still so much fun and it's exciting. But it's nonstop, man. It's like full tilt right now. And you know what? I guess that keeps me young. So it's been fun. It's a big challenge, but it's also very exciting.
Well, Coach, listen, thank you for spending some time with us. We appreciate it. We'll see you at the spring game tomorrow. Rain, shine, snow, whatever.
Stop by our tailgate, 10 a.m.
We're going to be there. So
me and Drew will be there at 10.
Yeah, I'm bundled up, ready to go.
Appreciate it. All right, Coach Mark Stoops. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you all. Appreciate your support.
All right.
Thanks.